Why are there so many gods in Hinduism? It might surprise you, but Hinduism in its core is actually monotheistic. Because it knows only one supreme Lord, one supreme consciousness, who is the source of this material world, as well as all the living entities within it. And this supreme being, this supreme person, goes under many names, like Vishnu, Rama, Narsingha, Krishna, Rama. So, but what about all the other gods everyone is talking about, like Agnidev, the god of fire, Vayudev, the wind god, Varunadev, the god of water and the lord of ocean, Suryadev, the sun god, Chandra, Somadev, also he's called also Somadev, the moon god, Indra, the king of all the gods, the king of heaven. And also in India there are many temples who are constructed in the honor of these gods. And of course there is Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, there is Durga, Parvati Devi, the material nature, Mother Nature. And so we talked about this in the second part of the simulation theory series. You can see the link up here, I believe, and or also the link is in the description. So it is the principle of conscious ruling, and there we discussed that basically in the Vedic understanding, this material reality we are living in is a manifestation of two different energies. One is the lower energy, which is material energy. Our bodies are made from that, or all the elements around us are made from that. And secondly, by the living entities, which is a spiritual energy that has consciousness and individuality and an independent life. So according to Vedic understanding, the symptoms of life do not originate from matter, but it is its own energy. And of course the source of both energies is the Supreme Lord, Krishna, Rama, Narsingha, many names are there. So, and the principle of conscious ruling says that matter by itself doesn't have power to act. It is always induced by consciousness. So as in our body, as soon the soul leaves at the time of death, when the spirit and the matter separates, then the matter has no action anymore. It is just a lump, and all life has gone, and very soon it will just dissolve in its different parts. But as long the consciousness is inside, the living entity, the soul is inside, the body is maintained and it grows and it changes, and so many activities are going on. The heart is pumping, the cells are producing what they are producing, and so on. But as soon the soul goes out, the body has no activity anymore. So similarly, the same is with the cosmic manifestation, with all the what nature does. So the wind blows because a consciousness is behind it that makes it blow, or the fire burns because a consciousness is behind it that makes it burn. From science we know, like a burning candle, this wax is some kind of carbon polymer, or I don't know exactly, I would have to look it up, but when it's burning it becomes liquid, then it becomes in a gas state, and then it starts to connect with the oxygen of the air, and that is the burning process, and there energy is set free. So according to the principle of conscious ruling, so that these connections happen between the oxygen molecules and these carbon polymers, there is a consciousness behind that makes this happen. So this is the principle of conscious ruling, which we learn from the Vedic scriptures. So therefore, for all what happens in nature, there is a consciousness behind, which means it's a living person behind, means it is a God. I mean, we human beings, our power is very limited. We have power to maintain our body and shape something little bit around us, but a demigod is just a living entity that has been given more power and more responsibility to manage something within this cosmic manifestation. So for instance, the sun god, he has been given the authority over the sun, and it is his duty that the sun burns, rises and sets according to the rules of nature. So also these many gods, like the sun god, the moon god, and so on, the difference between them and us lies only in the body. On the spiritual platform, we are we are the same. We are both living and small living entities, and these bodies, they are awarded according to our past actions, according to our past karma. So if we have a very high class karma and we qualify us, we might be put into a position, or we might achieve the position of a god, and we will be given higher responsibilities and more power over the material world. And that also means that the gods, they are not living forever. Like the sun god, according to the Vedic calculation, the sun god lives for 1000 Divya Yugas. Means one Divya Yuga, we can talk about this in other videos, is 4,320,000 years, Earth years, and 1000 of this is 4,320,000,000 years. The sun god lives, and then the universe turns into night, and then a new sun god comes. So this living entity who holds the position as the sun god, he is there in that position for 4,420,000,000 years, and then he has to come back to this. He will take birth according to his past deeds. He will takes birth again in our realm, and has to do again new karma to be either uplifted or downgraded or stay here. Yeah. So that also means that the gods, they are not living forever. Their days are counted. So for instance, the sun god, according to Vedic calculation, he lives for 4,320,000,000 years, around that. So after this period of time, he will have to leave his position, means he will, so to say, die, and he will incarnate in another part of the universe according to his karma. He will eventually come back to our earthly planet or earthly realm, and again has to do new karma to be either uplifted or downgraded. So and therefore in the Vedic spirituality, there's always emphasis given that if we are now human beings, we are in the perfect position to break this wheel of reincarnation and attain eternal self-realization, where we don't have to take different positions within the material world. So therefore also the process of reincarnation is sometimes compared to a Ferris wheel. These big wheels if there are big fairs, these big wheels, you can go up. So sometimes due to karma you go up and become a god, and then you will come down. Sometimes you go down to the lower planets, and sometimes you come up to the middle planets. So this is like a big Ferris wheel. The reincarnation is compared to that. So Vedic spirituality always encourages us to not go for the Ferris wheel ride of this material world, but to realize our eternal identity as a spirit soul and realize our eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, whose kingdom is beyond the reincarnation process. But this is just as a side note. So and also another thing is that the different gods, they're holding certain powers, so they can also award certain blessings. So people who are eager to want to have this, are eager for this type of blessings, they worship these gods. So for instance, the sun god can award good health. Ganesha, he can help businessmen to overcome obstacles. And like Lord Shiva, he will award a good wife, and Durga Devi will award a good husband, and so on. So the different demigods have different powers, so people like to worship them for different purposes. But again, from the point of view of Vedic spirituality as such, the worship of demigods is not encouraged, because these blessings are always temporary and only pertaining to the material body. We always seek the blessings of spiritual upliftment, of broadening consciousness, and that blessings, they will come from the Supreme Lord and his devotees. And also, from the understanding of Vedic spirituality, there is actually also no need to worship the demigods, because it is their duty to supply us with all the necessities of life. In the Vedic literatures, especially the supplementary Vedic literatures like the Puranas, there are many stories involving the activities of the demigods, and there we can see that often the demigods, when they are struggling in their position, they will seek help from the higher authorities. And in the highest authority in the universe is Lord Brahma, because he's the first living entity, and he's also like the forefather of all the other demigods. And together with him, they will always pray to Lord Vishnu, and eventually, if the situation is too difficult, Lord Vishnu will incarnate and to resolve the situation and create again equilibrium of good and bad within the universe. So from that we can see that the gods, in our terminology we usually like to call them demigods, they're always subordinate to the Supreme Lord. Therefore he's the Lord of Lords. Also the Bible says the Lord of Lords. So there are many lords in this world, as the many gods are lords, but there is one Supreme Lord. And if the Supreme Lord is worshipped, it is compared like he is the root of all existence, because from him everything becomes manifest. So he is like the root of all the existence of the whole all cosmic manifestation. He is the root. So if he is worshipped and we're giving our love to him, automatically all the demigods, they become happy and are automatically worshipped. Therefore in Vedic spirituality there is no need of a separate worship of demigods. Though in India it is done, but it is done, it's actually some kind of bribing bribing the administration. Instead of following the rules of the government, you bribe someone to get something extra. This rather in the sense of that, which has its justification. I don't want to criticize that. But if the Supreme Lord is worshipped, and he is worshipped with love because he's the God of love, then the whole cosmic manifestation becomes happy, and automatically the demigods will also supply us sufficiently with everything we need. So Vedic spirituality always encourages for a spiritual upliftment, for a connection with God in love, rather than a worship of demigods. So this is my short analysis of or short explanation why there are so many gods in Hinduism, and how Hinduism actually is a monotheistic religion. And I hope you found it very insightful, and if you want to know more about Vedic spirituality, then please subscribe. Show me some love by hitting the thumbs up, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, or you can also write me an email. Thank you. See you next time.
पिबतो भागवतं रसमालयं भूरो रसिका भुवि भावुका